All right, thank you. The time is 6:31, and with us tonight is Attorney Chris Hood, Craig Schulte, Bill Lovis, myself, Michael Gary, Mike Roth, and Patrick Nate is Kim. I don't see her. Okay.
Not today.
All right. So that is roll call, open forum. Is anyone here for open forum this evening? All right, moving on right along. This might be right up to Christmas. This might be right like in with our December meeting.
Oh, yes.
Consent agenda. Did anyone have questions about the meeting minutes or bills or comments on any of the above?
I don't have.
I don't.
Or the geothermal tax credit we're applying for?
That looks great. Yeah.
All right,
Excited
motion.
about that. I would make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second on that?
Second.
All right, all in favor of the approval for the consent
roll
agenda?
call.
Craig?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Aye, and with that, the consent agenda is approved. Moving on to Planning Commission report, Resolution 2025-03, Vesta final plat.
Yes.
Would you like to say anything on that?
Not a whole lot to say. I mean, it's kind of all there. It's been obviously 3 years in the making, so we've had, obviously the city has had lots of conversations back and forth, and we're just at that stage when we've got that final plat in front of us.
And nothing's changed from the one earlier. It was from before when we brought this through.
Not substantially that I
sent it.
So.
Yeah, all right. Anyone have any questions or comments at all, Craig?
No.
No? Bill?
No.
No.
All right, would anyone like
I
to
don't.
make a motion for approval of Resolution 2025-03 Vesta Final Plat?
I would like to make that motion.
Second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Roll call. Okay, Michael?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
Craig?
Aye.
Aye, and with that unanimous, the Resolution 2025-03 Vesta Final Plat is approved. Very good,
Yay.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, moving on to our TextMyGov messaging system update.
Just pretty much everything is going well. I think with TextMyGov, we've gotten almost 1,000 people signed up, and a few of them have dropped off. Most of those details are in the packet. We've been using it for about 4 months now, and seems to be going well. I've heard anecdotal comments about people appreciating it. We've got a few people who have indicated that they didn't appreciate it and left, but that's small numbers compared to how many have joined and are using it. So that's pretty much what I have, unless you guys have any questions about it.
My only comment, which I had mentioned to Mike, was, at the public hearings, or I know I see employment opportunities, what's too much? And they quit listening, just wanted to talk about that.
Right.
If anyone had any thoughts about that. While everyone's thinking, earlier you said so that's residents who've opted in, but is the number bigger because you're reducing it by, I thought earlier you said the number was higher, but is that because you're only counting city residents in this number?
No, this is the complete number of, I think earlier the number was roughly 1,000. I mean, I'm bad at math on the spot, but it's 105 plus 983 was the total number that we've had.
Okay.
And 105 have left.
Yeah, okay.
So.
I just misheard you then the other time.
Okay.
I thought you'd said a number larger, so then I thought, well, maybe you're just totally talking about residents versus other, you know, like business owners who aren't residents,
Right.
but
It's hard to say who, I suppose maybe residents is a poor word here. We've got 983 phone numbers that have opted in.
put it in. Yeah, okay. Well, that sure seems pretty good.
I'd say so. I mean, it's more than the number of households in the city limits. So depending on, I don't know how we determine when we've reached, you know, our full capacity but I mean, there's always overlap with people from out of town that might want to know about it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did appreciate the text for the public hearing. That was good. That went out.
I think that was in accordance with the conversation we had both at the planning commission about the public hearing notice process and also when we introduced the idea of text my gov. It's probably the only text that we sent out where we did get feedback of what's this about though. So,
Yeah.
but you know, not a lot. And mostly we're not getting feedback. This is so far a one-way communication tool. I think that we've only, you know, sent out 8 UC messages. So we definitely have not oversaturated it yet. I think there's a lot more that it can still do for us. But we're not trying to use it as our main communication tool. It's just something that we can use when we have a particular instance, a very timely something, whether it's a special hours or a meeting that we hope people can come to, or it's an emergency, but it's not just, you know, come on down to the liquor store on Friday sort of thing, unless we come up with a special opportunity
coupon
for
deal.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the power outages type, those kind of things,
Oh, yeah. That's
or
priceless.
storm-related closures are super handy. Certainly heard from businesses who are upset that they didn't get, when there was gonna be a planned power outage, and that interrupts their business. So now it's like, well, sign up, you know, you can't see a text, then I don't know, it comes right to you, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'd be neat sometime if we could get any feedback too from second homeowners who might appreciate, you know, once there's a few more of these maybe weather related or something. It'd be nice if sometime we could get some feedback, but I think it'd take longer.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm trying to be really cognizant of not overstepping and sending out too many messages. And also I looked at when we did send out the public hearing notice that we had received a few comments about, it looked like I can't remember, it was like 3 or 5 people on that same day opted out. So it's like it wasn't a big response to that.
Okay.
We also definitely had people at the meeting who indicated that's
Right.
how they heard about it.
Right. So.
Okay. Craig, did you have any questions or?
No, nope. I think it's a good platform, especially for power outages and any maintenance type things that we got to do to shut down. It's nice to let people know, especially if it's associated to a particular neighborhood or something like that, you know.
Yeah, being
So
able to get to a certain area is really good.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else then? Well, good. Well, thanks for the update. I appreciate it, because I do think this is really cool that we did this.
Thanks.
And we'll just keep hearing from people, you know, and I don't know. And now, like, so what happens now if you get a new utility customer, besides getting their contact info, do you specifically tell them about this too, the moment that they would want to sign up for this?
I don't think we've pitched it yet.
We haven't. That's a good idea. I think I haven't exactly come up with a direct plan, but I imagine that every quarter or once a year for sure, we'll send out in utility bills a little reminder that you can sign up for it. But I think that's a great idea to maybe on our utility sign up form, we can just check a box where if they check a box, they will automatically add them to it.
Yeah, that would be nice. And if they have a question, you can explain it to them or whatever, handle the little thing, but get them right in the moment
Yeah.
would be good.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me pitch anyone who does want to sign up for what we're talking about, the Text My Gov text alerts. You have to text the keyword GM alerts, all one word, to 91896. 91896 GM alerts. And you'll get periodic updates and power outages or road closures or things like that, notifications to your phone.
Perfect,
Great.
thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, between this and the weekly e-newsletter, I think those are some great communications to the public. I love all the photos too, to show all the work,
Yeah.
that really
People love that. I don't have to read. I can just look at the pictures.
yeah, I can really appreciate what it is they're doing, some of that work when you literally see it, like, oh.
Yep.
So, I think those are really good, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, council and staff reports.
Oh, yeah, we had a special meeting of planning and zoning just last night. Woo. We had a conditional use permit brought in by North House to have a lodging on the first floor. They're moving their interns over to the north side of the street into the green building there, and out of the main part of the teaching area. So needed to get a conditional use permit for that because they're having. I mean, it's a little bit tricky in my mind because I feel like, well, it kind of feels like they're just doing the same stuff they've been doing. And I mean, there are people living there, but it's not like they're renting, they don't have a rental agreement or something like that. But in any event, they're kind of set up for that. Obviously, they have the parking there and that kind of thing. So, but it seemed a pretty clear thing anyway to us. And then the other thing was John Bukite, I think that's how you say his name, asked for a variance to have to build a garage with an ADU on top of it, with an apartment on top of it. So he's replacing his garage, and he thought, well, I'm replacing my garage. Why don't I put an apartment on top of it? So he needed to get a variance for that. For where it is, because the garage is in his front yard. And it's also a little close for an ADU, it's very close to the street, but it's in line with other garages along that same street, so it's kind of like, okay. And then there was also a height, his house is not very tall, he's in a one-level house that's 15 feet tall, so the garage is gonna be taller. And in our rules, we say like, well, an ADU, if this is an ADU, which it's kind of an ADU, but it's mostly a garage, it should not be taller than the house. So it sounds kind of funny, but if you drive by and look at it, and look at the information you'll get for, I guess, next time, you'll kind of see what we're talking about.
Where is that?
It's on 4th off of Broadway, so it's something east. It's like the first house on that corner of 4th.
Street.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's across from the apartments there. Or if you were looking south from that property, you'd be looking at the apartments there.
Okay. Better round up in there. Okay,
Yeah, and that was it.
okay. Thank you. Craig?
Yeah, we had a rec park meeting on June 3rd. May has been a pretty strong May this year so far. The rec park is looking at about an 18% boost in revenue from last May. So because of golf course is doing pretty well too because of the weather. We also discussed a power upgrade to the Harbor Park area. The Lions Club came in and requested to upgrade the 200 amp and service at that facility to a 500 amp. So we voted on that and approved that so that there will be enough amperage to run everything during the Lions Club Fisherman's Picnic and any other events that we might have down there. We'll kind of make sure that we're not under amperage for those events. More things are being used that draw electricity and kind of running out of space for that. So that work will be fully completed by the first weekend in August for the Fisherman's Picnic, we're hoping.
Great.
We also talked about LHB had come up and did a little walk around the rec park looking at the bathhouses and the rec hall discussion that we've been looking at, bathhouse 3 and 4 and the rec hall. They talked to Dave about, different avenues that we possibly could go down instead of replacing with brand new. Why don't we look at what do we have that's existing? What can we fix up? What can we repair or remodel? And so that gave Dave some kind of different perspective on the project. And now he's kind of taken a little pause to consider other options, which might be just as good as doing the things we're thinking of doing, but also saving a lot of money. So anyway, July 1st at the rec hall, I don't know the time, but LHB is going to be hosting an open house and a listening session to any rec park members or city people or anybody who wants to come and listen to just talk about the possibilities of what we could do with those issues that we're talking about with the rec hall and bathhouse. And then later on, then they'll be at our meeting, at our park board meeting. That I think it's the same day, that afternoon. Yeah. So that is no. Then there's another event. Yeah, June 21st, the Northwest Boat Show, of course, in the marina. That's coming up in June. So let's have, I guess. Yeah, that's all I've got.
Hey, Bill.
I do not have anything. I did not make the emergency preparedness Zoom yesterday at 2:30. It's kind of hard when it falls in the middle of my work day.
It's a problem with a lot of the
Yeah.
meetings. It's hard. Yeah. Well, they'll give you meeting minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Michael and Mike were at the groundbreaking for the Heights. Craig was there too, so that was fun. That was nice.
That's nice.
A lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure everyone saw the press about it. So we had our first meeting with Stantec for the Tack Harbor project as they're trying to get starting to figure out logistics to begin that whole process. So we had that last week. And tomorrow, the city, as far as space go, is hosting the North Shore Management Board meeting at 10 a.m. here. They're coming here. We're still trying to go around to different locations and have in person. And next month, Bobby Deschamps has invited us all up to Portage to their new redo on the marina piece because they have a new building there with good technology and meeting space. So we're going to go
great.
out there and see that. And we're meeting monthly for a while we work out certain board issues. So more than quarterly meetings. So that's all I
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
Great.
Mike?
No other updates.
Nothing? All right. So with
No,
that,
honey.
where we at 6:50? We are adjourned.
Yay.
15 minutes ahead of schedule. Save that for another time. Thanks, Chris.